Today, we're going to look at the cryptocurrency Elrond, or ticker symbol EGLO, EGLO. We're going to start with a weekly chart. We're going to look at a topside trend line that runs from the July 2019 high through the August 2020 high. It actually was an integral part of the support that formed during this correction or corrective process, if you will, in 2021. You'll see that we did have a test of the topside trend line, or if you want, a meridian trend line now. It was just below the 38.2% retracement of the advance from late 2020 into the high we saw here. It also corresponds closely and just below the 50-week simple moving average, which comes in at 75.46. So we had, on this corrective process of 2021, formidable support for EGLD that a lot of other cryptocurrencies did not have. And we saw that it hasn't come back to test these levels here. It's been sitting above the 50-week simple moving average, which is bullish because it puts us in a better spot in terms of the overall price structure that we have in 2021 and even going back to the beginning. So moving forward, let's take a look at the daily chart to kind of get an idea where we could be a buyer or a seller or taking short position. One thing that stands out is that after the burst from July 21st, really the price action has been timid, and there's been at least one doji, two dojis, and these came very close to being a doji. So that reflects indecision and uncertainty within the ranks of EGLD investors and doesn't speak well about the outlook for the cryptocurrency, at least in the near term. So for that reason, I would not be a buyer unless it takes out this trend line that goes back to the May high and goes through the July high, and the area is around 104.87. That would be my trigger price, and I would look to add to it on a daily close above the 200-day simple moving average, which comes in at 118.64. And then I would add again the position if we saw a daily close above the May 26th high of 128.23. That would be the last point of entry for a rally into the highs we saw early in this year in April. On the downside, if you own EGLD, you have to use a daily close below this trend line, which more or less comes in at 68.62. And then, of course, if you do want to hold it, give it more space, then you want to come no lower than this meridian trend line here, which is at 60.20 more or less. You don't want to give it any more space. The daily close below there is trouble. You'll see that the meridian trend line held on daily basis here on a closing basis. So definitely letting it close below there would be a big negative for your position. At this point, if you're not in it, you don't need to worry about it. If you want it, you look for the trend line break here. Otherwise, you just let it trade along the 50-day moving average. Let it prove itself to you. You have no reason to prove yourself to the cryptocurrency, is my view. If you don't own something and it doesn't have a clear and visible entry point, or it's not near a clear and visible entry point, you just let the cryptocurrency prove itself to you. And at this point, EGLD does still have a lot to prove before it's an actionable opportunity.